This time around, better prepare yourselves, cause we are in PokeRebels ranting mode. In this video, we assembled our favorite 8 things that do not even begin to make an iota of sense. At number 8, we have the community favorite in the Pokedex entries. We hope that whoever makes the physics theories designed to explain the universe around us does not play Pokemon. From a Cargo Sapphire's entry stating its shell has a temperature of 18,000 Fahrenheit to the child kidnapping Drifloon, without forgetting how Houndooms will inflict burns that will never heal, better think about that one next time you're clicking Will-O-Wisp with the Houndoom. Pokemon has always had, and we bet will continue having, the most random nonsense written into them just so most people playing the game could enjoy not reading them even once. At number 7, we have Held Items. Held Items is a great mechanic introduced in Gen 2, which allows the player to give an item to a Pokemon for an added benefit, such as increased damage on some moves, healing HP and status, and all sorts of other perks. But that raises all sorts of logistics questions. Now, I get it that an Infernape can just strap a scarf on and have that magically make it faster. Sure, but how in the world can a Pokemon focus on a battle while holding something like Silver Powder? And how about a Pokemon that cannot hold items? How does Seaking hold a berry? Does Unknown wear only one side of choice specs? And how does Magnemite drink berry juice? I guess we'll never know. At number 6, we have the Sabrina and Koga mess up. Koga and Sabrina are 2 of the 8 Kanto gym leaders, holding the Soul Badge and the Marsh Badge respectively. But how in the world is Sabrina's badge called the Marsh Badge? What does that have to do with psychic Pokemon? But what if the Soul Badge was supposed to be her badge and the Marsh Badge was Koga's instead? Marsh Badge would definitely make a lot more sense for a poison-type gym. The fan theory is, to us, one of the most plausible ones ever produced, and though we will probably not ever have a definitive word about that from Game Freak, we hold firm the belief that the QA team of the Gen 1 games messed up big time not detecting that error, which is now part of the Pokemon canon. At number 5, we have Learn Sets. The favorite example people bring is how Wooper can learn Ice Punch, which Gen 5 Kyurem in Pokemon Black could not. However, the biggest offender in moveset incoherence has, once again, got to be Gen 1. Growlithe does not learn Growl, Lickitung does not learn Lick, Rhydon has been given Surf, which has still remained true to this day, and so have other wonders such as Fire Blast Graveler and Slowbro, as well as the fact that almost literally every Pokemon ever made gets TM Toxic, which, by the way, is a very big deal as it matters even in competitive singles given how good of a move Toxic is. If someone can explain that, then please, be our guest. At number 4, we have the utter uselessness of the gym leaders, Elite Four and Champion. The Elite Four are supposed to be the strongest Pokemon trainers in the region and the final hurdle to face for every trainer. This would make you think that in a world where Pokemon are at the center of everything, those people would greatly contribute to society by, for example, beating up the bad guys trying to mess up the whole world. The Gen 1 Elite Four are totally and completely out of the story, and outside of Gen 5's gym leaders who face the 7 sages in the final arc of the story, these strong trainers seem to be completely cool with the bad guys, outside of the champion in Gen 2 and 3 helping you in whatever small extent they do. And even Cynthia, who goes all the way with you in the distortion world, lets you fight Cyrus and Giratina on your own for some reason, even though her team would absolutely have wiped the floor with anything Team Galactic's leader even stood for. At number 3, we have the PC. The PC is a mechanic as old as Pokemon itself, which allows you to store the Pokemon that are not part of your current team of 6 for later usage. But how would that even work? Given that Pokemon are living beings, can you just convert them to bite form and send them over to a server to fetch them from another location later? Does that hurt the Pokemon? Could you do that to people if you wanted to? You definitely can do that to living beings and to random objects. Maybe the Pokemon world's IT engineers have even more moral hazards than our worlds. At number 2, we have that you are allowed to commit theft in Gen 1. In Gen 1, this sign in Pewter City tells you that thieves have been stealing fossils from Mount Moon, which are potentially of great value to researchers, and that you should call the police if you got any info. If you remember anything about what happens next, after beating the super nerd at the end of Mount Moon, he offers you to share the 2 fossils, which you do by inevitably picking Lord Helix, but shouldn't you call the police? Not doing that makes you one of the thieves as well, and later on you can revive your Lord Helix fossil to Ammonite, which nobody asks you about where you got that extremely important artifact from or even makes a big deal about it. But then again, in a world where Growlithe does not growl, it makes sense for law enforcement to not enforce the law. And before we move on to number 1, here are a few honorary mentions that did not make the list. 1. Mewtwo having a Pokedex dex number lower than Mew despite being a clone of Mew. 2. Execute Sprite in Pokemon Red and Blue. 3. These guys in Gen 5 who are, and I quote, dancing for no reason and are going to disappear for no reason, which is a rare example of something canonically being meaningless. 4. And finally, the fact that a Pokemon as useless as Melcombee exists. Now, I get it, that Vespiquen is based on a bee queen, and that male bees are supposed to be the weak links in the colony, which is why Melcombee makes sense, but I had to rant about Melcombee at some point in time, and now is as good a point as any, to be honest. If this video gets 1 million views, I will make a sequel in the Mel-Salandit rants. And to top it off at number 1, we have the National Park in Gen 2. Gen 2, made as a weird Safari Zone-ish bi-weekly contest where you catch bug Pokemon and receive a prize if you caught a better Pokemon than the competition. This contest raises a question though. How come the only Pokemon available in the contest are bug-typed, while the Pokemon living in the park are usually an entirely different subset? Do they get all the Pokemon away and put the bugs right before the contest starts? And where do they put them? If that is even feasible, given that tall grass has an infinite supply of wild Pokemon. This one is particularly weird, because they could have just made it so there always were bug Pokemon here, but they went quite out of their way to add this mechanic into the game, which makes absolutely no sense. Once again, we will never know. We know there are definitely more of those, and we would love it if you'd share some of them with us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a great one.